and welcome everybody back. Hopefully it goes hot. As it goes hot, let me welcome everyone back to the first inning. We are the show, #1 band show, but not really. We're getting back up there now, but this is the first inning. And you're going to find me, the Biggs Bomber 2011, and Roger, the Big Yankee fan, here today. And also Michael Caputo, if he joins me or calls me, it's all good. But we're going to talk about the playoffs, the 2021 playoffs, and Aaron Boone's job in question. So let's welcome everybody to the show. Like, share, subscribe. It means a lot because it helps with the algorithm. And believe it or not, it does help. But anyway, let's start the show. Roger, say hello. Can you hear me, Roger? All right, we're having technical difficulties. I don't think he can hear me right now, but we're going to continue until he can hear me. We got the... Yeah, you're breaking up. You're breaking up, so you're going to have to move a little bit. But we're going to talk about this playoff. And let me bring it up to the screen real quickly. All right, until Roger gets settled there. But it's unbelievable that the Red Sox... Yeah, it's getting better.
Okay,
yeah,
okay. How about outside now?
Yeah, good.
It's weird. I'm outside.
Yeah, it's good now. It's good now. All right, so yeah, man, I can't believe that the Red Sox beat the Tampa Bay Rays, man. That's truly unbelievable. You know, I think I lost them again. Yeah, you
basically what happened is the Boston Red Sox beat the Tampa Bay Rays 6-5, and in the bottom of the third inning,
you're breaking. Yeah, you're breaking up again, man. It's you're coming in and out. Oh, try to go back inside the house.
Yeah. Let me call you back, okay?
All right, cool. All right, we're gonna let him call me back. Let me bring up the scores right now, but it's unbelievable that that the Red Sox have won. Right now, the Houston Astros are winning 6-1. Holy cow! In the bottom of the sixth, so that means Houston will advance to the next round to play the Red Sox. So that means right now the Red Sox are getting together and getting on that plane to go to the Astros, which is crazy right now. Let me see if I can go to that game and pop it up. But it's amazing how these guys are playing right now. They're waiting for Roger to call back, but this is the game right here. These guys may clinch today. And Boston, like I said again, they beat they beat Tampa Bay, man. Let's see the game highlights on this. On the ALDS. Now they make it to the championship series. So now it's going to be crazy to see who they're going to play. It's going to be the Astros, of course. But the Astros are proven to, never make it past this round. Hopefully they get taken out. But when they do make it past this round, they've won the World Series. So it's going to be real interesting to see what happens. But also, we're waiting to hear on what's happening with Aaron Boone's job. That's going to be a big thing too. And we got Roger calling back. Hello?
Hey, BX Bomber, is this any better?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. Yes, I'm sorry about that. What happened is, you can still hear me okay, right?
Perfect. Sound good.
Okay, beautiful. The Red Sox won 6-5 yesterday over the Rays, and Rafael Devers homered on a fly ball to center field, and Christian Vasquez scored, and Kyle Schwarber scored in the bottom of the third. Also in the bottom of the third, Alex Verdugo doubles on a fly ball to left fielder Austin Meadows, and Xander Bogart scores. Also in the third inning, J.D. Martinez singled on a sharp line drive to left field. The left fielder Austin Meadows, and Alex Verdugo scores. In the fifth inning, Austin Meadows grounds out sharply to first baseman Kyle Schwarber, and Jordan Luplow scores to make the score 5-1 Boston over Tampa Bay. In the sixth inning, Wander Franco, that sensational rookie, homered on a line drive to center field, and Kevin Kiermaier scored for the Tampa Bay Rays. In the eighth inning, Kevin Kiermaier doubled on a sharp line drive to right fielder Hunter Renfroe, and Mike Zunino scored, making the score 5-4. And also in the eighth inning, Randy Rosarina singled on a ground ball to right fielder Hunter Renfroe, and Kevin Kiermaier scores, and Randy Rosarina went to second. And then in the ninth inning, Enrique Hernandez out on the sacrifice fly to left fielder Austin Meadows, and Danny Santana scored, and the Red Sox pulled it off 6-5. So the Red Sox are moving on to the American League Championship Series. And also last night, what happened is the San Francisco Giants beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 1-0 with a home run from Ivan Longoria. And that one home run did it for the San Francisco Giants as they beat the Dodgers 1-0.
Yeah.
So as of right now, the Boston Red Sox are moving on. The San Francisco Giants are up 2-1 over the Los Angeles Dodgers. And last I checked, the White Sox were trailing the Astros 5-1 in the fifth inning. I'll have to update that score there.
Yeah.
And the Brewers and Braves, the Braves are ahead 2-1 over the Brewers at this point in time.
Yeah, man, and also to mention, man, Zach Hampel caught two of those 2 home runs yesterday.
I know. I saw. Leave it to Zach Hampel. You see any big home run, you say, okay, Zach Hampel caught it.
Yeah, right. Wow, man. Hey, I'm the AKA Zach Hampel of Yankee Stadium. Don't worry about it, though.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Zach Campbell, no doubt about it. He scored, and that was good. Cool that you caught him in that video there. He was okay. He was good. He was nice to you. You know, like you tapped him on the shoulder, and he said, okay. You know, he acknowledged you, but it looked like he was like trying to do his blog or whatever.
Yeah. No, I don't knock the guy. It's all him, man. You know, it looks like he's one of those guys that just worry about himself, but he got plenty of money to do whatever he want to do. You know what I mean? On us, we don't have any money to do any of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but in due time, we will.
We do pretty darn good, but we don't have the backing that Zach Campbell has. No doubt about it. He lives in a nice luxury apartment in Manhattan, and travel all over the country.
He's got a fundraiser. He got a donation fundraiser thing that he gets money donated to, and all kind of stuff. So he's got it going on, man. Plus, he's selling that book. He's selling the How to Catch Baseballs or whatever it is.
Exactly. He sure does. So as of right now, the Houston Astros are up 6-1 over the Chicago White Sox. That game is on Fox Sports 1. If anyone wants to tune in, that's the top of the 7th. The Milwaukee Brewers and the Atlanta Braves are in the warm-up, and that will be Game 4. And San Francisco and Los Angeles will be starting at 9:07 this evening out in L.A. on TBS. and we are up to date on the playoffs. And right now, the Astros have a big lead over the Chicago White Sox. So unless the White Sox can pull it off, it'll be a very ugly American League Championship Series for us, because we have Astros and the Red Sox. And Michael is right, though. These teams have caught up and passed the Yankees. They have lapped the Yankees. You look at them, they're the same team. The Rays, the Astros, the Red Sox beat the Yankees routinely throughout the past 5 years.
Yeah, man. I mean, for some reason, the Yankees cannot beat Baltimore. They can't beat Toronto. It's like these teams kill, and Tampa Bay. It's like these three teams kill us. You know, I don't get it, man. You know, but then when the Yankees go to Camden Yards, you know, they start blasting home runs, winning 13-2 and all that. But when they play them in Yankee Stadium, they lose to them.
Right, but remember, we did have a blowout game that when you and I had those great seats in the level 2 area, where we had that 13-1 victory over the Orioles with 5 home runs by the Yankees. So we do get them.
Yeah, but it was only one. You know what I mean? The Yankees should have been blowing out this team completely. Like, we should have never lost to the Baltimore Orioles, period, the way they were.
Right.
And then they beat us. Then they beat us after they had the major league record and the most losses. What was it, like 20 games they lost or something like that?
Oh, yes, exactly.
20-something thing lost. Then they come to play us in Yankee Stadium. They sweep us.
Well, what that was we had Andrew Heaney pitching at that point in time, and Andrew Heaney lost the game 7-1. And that was the last win, and then the Orioles went on their 20-game losing streak.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy how baseball goes, man. The Yankees can't even hit water if they fell out of a boat, man.
I hear you. I know exactly what you're talking about, and that is something there. And I do have a little bit of stats for you. The Yankees finished the year. Let me look up a little bit of information here. The Yankees finished the year with, let's see here. Team stats, okay. The Yankees finished the year with 222 home runs this year. And the Yankees also finished the year with 711 runs, pretty much. And I'm trying to pull it up here. What we had here, 711 runs, and otherwise the Yankees finished about 19th in runs scored, even though they finished 6th in the majors in home runs, but they finished 3rd in the American League in home runs. But teams like the Tampa Bay Rays scored 857 runs, and the Yankees only scored 711. Wow. So even though so that really shows how the Yankees did rely on the home run and did not have a lot of hitting and running and stealing bases and moving the runner, because they were not too prolific in scoring a lot of runs. No, man. I mean, they didn't even have a guy that could base steal. You know? Right. Exactly.
But what was what's the future outlook for Aaron Boone now? Now that his contract is over.
Okay, Mom, I'm doing the show with the X-Bomber. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said, what do you think the future is for Aaron Boone now that his contract is over after the World Series? Well,
there's a couple of things coming. There's a couple of things before the postseason has even ended, and one of them is the Padres may be interested in having Aaron Boone as their manager, but then people like Buster Olney and Brian Hoke and other insider writers and reporters are saying that the Yankees are leaning towards having Boone back and having Cashman back without much changing at all. and they will not do much changes to their lineup either. And the reason being is because it will be essentially the same lineup coming back in 2022, but after 2022, they will have 10 free agents. So if they feel that their lineup is essentially going to be the same, that they may as well stick with Boon. And, you know, we have a different type of owner now. Al Steinbrenner is nowhere near as feisty and as wild as his father, George Steinbrenner, was. And Al Steinbrenner likes Boon, and as of right now, it looks like they're leaning towards having Boon back. But possibly, if the Padres make a move on Boon, we'll see what happens. But it's all in the very early stages right now.
Well, a lot of contracts is up after this season. Aaron Judge, he said he wanted to be a Yankee forever, and this and that. So, so they may just let this team die off, you know, with contract-wise and all that money-wise. They might just let it die off, and you might see them pick up next winter doing, you know, a lot of trades and stuff like that, in my opinion.
Right. It is after the 22 season that they will have 10 free agents at that point, after the 22 season. This upcoming season, not a lot is going to be changing in the way of free agents.
Yeah, exactly. So they're probably going to let these guys go.
Right. We will have to see. So if they're essentially they don't have a lot of free agents leaving this winter.
Or since it's their last year, they might use some of these guys as trade bait.
Right. It's still very early. And they know that the fans, if they took a poll, they believe that 85% of the fans would want to see it change and would want to see Aaron Boone leave. They have nothing against him personally. They just want a different voice there. And do they want Aaron Boone 2.0, another yes man that will listen to Cashman? Or do they want someone like Buck Showalter, who will be an old school manager and will hold the players more into account than Aaron Boone does? You know, when you see gaps and problems with Gleyber Torres not hustling to first base or making errors in the field, Aaron Boone is not much of a disciplinarian. He's more of a player's manager. And Buck Showalter would hold them more into account. And even though Buck Showalter would listen to the analytics department, he would also manage more by the seat of his pants than Aaron Boone does. And I'm favoring, I would really love to see Buck Showalter come in as manager.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility that could happen, but other than Buck Showalter, there really is nobody to bring in as manager for the New York Yankees. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a big job. You know, and you need somebody that's that has a lot of knowledge in this stuff and this new age baseball as well. Did you hear now they're gonna bring the robotic strike zone next year?
No, I did not hear about that. That is news to me.
They're gonna bring in I heard it on the radio. They're gonna bring in the robotic strike zone, where, you know, like how they do it on TV.
Right.
Like that. They're gonna start implementing that in the minor league games, and they're gonna start.
Minor league.
It's for sure minor league, and they're gonna start in MLB games as well. You know, so you might see that like in spring training, and you know, like they're gonna gradually put it in there. You know what I mean? They're not gonna like, it's not officially implemented, but they're gonna implement it in. You know what I mean? Like a dry run.
Right.
And there's another one. What was the other one? Damn, I forgot. I know in the minor league they're gonna make the bases bigger too.
Oh yes, exactly. And there was an experiment in the Atlantic League where they had the pitching rubber 61 feet 6 inches from home plate rather than 60 feet 6 inches.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that, but for sure it's the what we just said. And it's gonna be crazy. I don't know if they. I mean, the robotic umpire, yes, they should have that. You know, because a lot of people be missing with those strikes and all that. But then again, you should be able to challenge a strike or a ball. You know, because you know they give you the challenge flag, right, or whatever they give, whatever it is, and you can challenge it, and they should allow that though. You know, and stop this whole thing of you can't challenge a strike.
But the problem with that is they're already worried about the increasing length of games. You know, the games are increasing by length. And, you know, they work 3 hours, under 3 hours. Now they're 3.5 hours quite often. And if, you know, if they're challenging all the balls and strikes, that would really slow the game down. You know, batters would be challenging every other pitch.
So, in my opinion, if they want to mark down or slow or make the game faster, stop these players from throwing around the baseball.
Right.
They should be able to do it 1 time or 2 times. Like
How can they just enforce the rules that are supposed to already be on the book? You know, the batters are still stepping out of the batter's box. They're still constantly stepping out. I mean, I know they're supposed to be able to step out if there is a foul ball, but, you know, they still step out. The pitchers take walks around the mound. Enforce the rules they already have, and I would also like to see a pitch clock. I would not make it crazy, but I would want to see a 20-second pitch clock.
Well, yeah, right. That'll make it fair.
You know?
That'll make it fair because a lot of these guys, yeah, you're right. Walk around, they gotta clean their cleats, all kind of stuff. But, two, I think throwing around the baseball. Let's say, you know, the first baseman just throws it twice around and that's it. You know what I mean? Most of the time, they be out there throwing it for a while. You know?
Yeah. I think I would lean more towards a pitch clock. You know, after a strikeout or something, you know, they're just keeping themselves loose by throwing the baseball around. You know, keeping themselves agile. But I think the pitch clock would be a better idea.
Yeah, no, that'll work too. I mean, in this day and age, I mean, the way they want to do it, I mean, at this point, yeah, I mean, you're going to need it, you know? I mean, they already do the pitch clock, though, but they don't really enforce it, right?
Well, they have them up in the stadiums, but they're not really using them. You know, and then when batters get on base, or especially on second base, the game really slows down. You know, and I did notice, remember how you were saying they don't have things in their hats? I did see Kopech of the Chicago White Sox take his hat off, and he did have a card in now.
Yeah, I saw that too, but you know when I said something about it, right? That episode, they stopped doing that.
Right.
They stopped doing it. You ain't see nobody do it no more. I didn't see nobody do it no more.
I'll tell you. I think you have more influence than you realize. And by the way, the Yankees clinching the playoffs, your live stream of the Aaron Judge infield hit, the last I saw of that was a couple days ago, that had over 500 views.
Yeah, I'm getting up there, man. If you Google Yankee Stadium, I pop up first now.
Exactly.
If you Google me in YouTube and just put Yankee Stadium, I'm one of the like top 5. I'm above Zach Hampel and everybody else.
Right, I know. I think some of your views are being held down artificially. You know, some of your vlogs. I love your vlogs the most, and I have seen your latest vlog, the Tennessee victory over the Twins, 3 times already. And I love your vlogs. They're like documentaries of the game. And then your live streams are really good. And third on the list, even though I like doing it as well, is the First Inning Radio Show. But you have a lot of great things going on.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, the First Inning was created out of like luck, basically. We had to do it for television. Well, we started doing it on our own.
Right.
Remember, we was doing our own, and we got picked up by television, and that was pretty cool.
Exactly. And we're really good on YouTube. Next year, I'm going to start coming on again. I just got a little bit lazy about logging in, my video. I'm going to come on again next year for quite a number of shows where I'll be on the screen with you as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we could do the go back to the picture-in-picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'll go back onto that as well. I just got a little bit lazy about it, especially with, the different type of working that I got involved with at the same time.
Oh, wait a minute. I got Michael Caputo calling in. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Hello?
What's up, man?
What's up, man? We live. What's going on?
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm pretty good, hanging in there. So, yeah, I just kind of sorry to call you guys a little late. I just had like a late dinner, but looks like the Red Sox are going to the ALDS. Pretty pathetic. The Yankees could have been.
Yeah,
the Yankees
man,
could
that
have been
should have
going to the
been us.
ALDS right now.
Yes, what I did, Michael, was I just ran down play-by-play last night's game between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Boston Red Sox. I ran it play-by-play, inning by inning down.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the games.
Also, Michael, that the Houston Astros have a huge lead over the Chicago White Sox right now in the seventh inning, 6-1.
Another team that I didn't want to see get in. So it looks like it's going to be the Astros and the Red Sox. Two teams that I can't stand.
Right, exactly.
I want the White Sox to win.
I can't believe
the Red Sox are. I can't believe the Red Sox are in the ALCS, though. This team had no expectations whatsoever.
For real.
They weren't even projected to make the playoffs. They were projected.
Real.
I just can't believe it. The Yankees could have been here right now. They just don't know how to hit in the playoffs. They really don't. They're just a terrible team that needs so many changes next year. It's not even funny. I mean, the Red Sox have absolutely nobody. I don't know how they're doing this. If this team wins the World Series, and I think baseball's rigged, it has to be fixed. It has to be a fake sport. There's no way. The Red Sox don't even have an ace on their team. How is it possible?
The San Francisco Giants. No one expected the San Francisco Giants to go anywhere. They have 107 wins.
Yeah, they're about to. They might win tonight. They're playing.
Rodriguez shut them down yesterday. That was crazy, man. I don't know.
Yeah, the Giants might make it past the Giants might go to the NLCS. They need one more win, and then it's over. Unless the Dodgers tie it up today.
But Longoria blasted a home run yesterday to make it 1-0 Giants over the Dodgers yesterday.
I tell you, it's going to be a crushing blow if the Dodgers lose this series, but not really that shocking because the Giants are really that good this year, so not going to be that much of a surprise. But the Dodgers are the heavy favorite this year to win, and they have all that pitching. So I tell you, anything could happen in the postseason. But I'm more shocked at the Red Sox though, because the Red Sox beat the Rays. I thought the Rays were the favorite.
Yeah.
What happened to the Rays? The Rays just collapsed.
Man. I thought they were gonna blast the Boston Red Sox, man, and
I don't understand it. I mean, the Rays, I thought were like the heavy. It was like they were the heavy favorite to make it out of the American League. All that talk about the Rays, they were a fraud. The Rays, they were a joke. We could have beat the Rays then.
Yeah.
Well, I still don't think the Yankees just the mojo and the aura around them. They would not have beaten the Rays.
I think they would have. I think they would have. I think they would have. They just don't. They're not a great. They're not a great situational hitting team. They aren't. When they get to the playoffs, they don't hit. It doesn't matter who they face. They could face the Baltimore Orioles. They would lose to the Baltimore Orioles if they played them in the playoffs. They don't beat anybody in the playoffs. It doesn't matter who you put up against the Yankees. They're not beating them. That's it. It could be the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Yankees would lose to them. That's just how bad this team is. They're horrible. They have horrible fundamentals. They're not a good baseball team. They're the Baltimore Orioles without the payroll. Take their payroll away, and they're like.
Here's a little tidbit for you. Since 2017. The team that has eliminated the Yankees in the American League has gone on to the World Series.
Wow.
17 the Astros, in 18 it was the Red Sox, in 19 it was the Astros, in 20 it was the Rays, in that 21 we're headed towards the Red Sox again.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. And three of those teams Well, two out of the 5 teams or 3 won the World Series. It's pretty embarrassing.
That is
It's all the same teams, though. It's the Red Sox, Houston, and Tampa. They can't beat those 3 teams. The Yankees will never make it to the World Series. They can't beat. It's always the same teams that beat them. The Red Sox, Houston, Tampa.
Yeah.
It's like they can't.
For the last 10 years.
I believe that the Toronto Blue Jays were a better team than the Yankees this year.
Well, they didn't make the playoffs, but it was a tough race this year. But don't be surprised next year if Baltimore, Toronto, or Seattle knock the Yankees off in the playoffs. I won't be shocked. The Seattle Mariners were like they were almost in the playoffs practically. They were on the doorstep of the postseason this year. They're going to get better. The Baltimore Orioles have a really strong farm system. Toronto is good now. This American League is no joke now. All this talk, remember we were talking, what was it, like 5 months ago or 6 months ago, that the American League was going to be so easy for the Yankees to make it to the World Series. Remember all that talk? The projections, Pacoda. Everyone said the Yankees were going to win 103 wins and they were going to cakewalk to the World Series. What happened? What happened to those predictions?
So, they were labeled number 2 team to beat. To win the World Series and all that.
The Dodgers and the Yankees.
And I didn't see it.
Supposed to be like a heavy favorite this year. And they didn't even do anything great in the offseason, but they were still a heavy favorite because everyone was so, everyone thought the American League was going to be so horrible. And look what happened. There was a lot of good teams this year. The American League is, I'm telling you, man, the Yankees are in loads of trouble because there's about 7 or really 8 good teams. You have Houston now, you have Boston that are supposed to be rebuilding. I don't know how the hell they made it. Toronto, the White Sox, the Mariners. You have a lot of teams now.
Yeah.
The Orioles might be coming around, so the Yankees have to do something big because they're in loads of trouble next year. And they might not make the playoffs next year, too.
Yeah,
before you came on, Michael, the X-Bomb and I were discussing that the San Diego Padres have some interest in Aaron Boone, but also at the same time, both Brian Hope and Dr. Olney and a number of the other reporters and writers with their insider information are saying that the Yankees are leaning strongly towards bringing both Boone and Cashman back.
No kidding. What a shocker.
Sure.
Like, I'm not surprised. Tell me something I don't know.
You already know
what
they're going to bring back the same team.
Didn't we all know that was going to happen? I'm not surprised. I thought they were going to can Aaron Boone, though. I'm not surprised about Cashman, but I'm not all that surprised that they want to bring Aaron Boone back either. They're going to do the same thing again, this team. Don't expect them to do anything different next season. They're going to probably bring back Marcus. He better get fired. Marcus Timms better get fired. I do not want to see that guy back. Please.
Yeah, please. They got to get rid of that guy, man, because he's the guy that's supposed to make them hit, and they didn't even hit nothing this whole season.
And Phil Nevin too. He sucks too. The third base coach. He's another bum. I don't want him back either. He's the one that doesn't even know how to. No wonder why we made the worst base running mistakes in baseball this year. The Yankees have ran into the most double plays and ran into base running mistakes than any other team in baseball this year, due to probably Phil Nevin. He's an idiot. Well, how do you?
The Yankees hit into 154 double plays.
They're pathetic.
They had 22 men thrown out at home plate, which tied them for the worst.
And how the hell did they make the playoffs? They shouldn't even make the playoffs. There's no team baseball that hits into 100 and something double plays and makes 34 base running mistakes and makes it to the postseason. They suck. And this is a team that you look up to. They're a joke, this team. They should be shot, the Yankees. They should be ran out of New York. I just can't stand this team. They just make me sick. They make me sick.
It's just that. Yeah, man. They blundered too, man. They did terrible, man. The Mets.
No, but the Mets never had any expectations. They never make the playoffs. They haven't made it to the playoffs since 2015.
Yeah.
So there's no surprise with the Mets. The Mets are the Mets. The Mets always do the Met things, and they always collapse in the end, and they never make it. But the Yankees always have the high expectations every single year, make it to the playoffs, and they lose every year. They're a joke.
Well, now we can't make it past the wild card now.
People are just going to have to lower their expectations a bit because, this World Series or failure after 12 years, that's getting them to be a bit laughable.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to project them as I think that's going to be gone now after this season. I think that's over. I think now they're going to probably put the Yankees very, very low now. in terms of World Series.
but you have
I don't
to-
think it's going to be too high now.
But listen,
because the last 4 or 5 years, they had this team as a favorite every year since 17 to 2018. It's going to be very, very low this year. They're probably going to be right around the odds of like, I don't know, is winning it is maybe the I hate to say it, man, but there are the chances of them winning a World Series are going to be maybe as good as maybe the Pirates. I don't think this team's odds are going to be high next year. You think their odds are going to be high? I don't think so.
The playoffs are being expanded again next year. They're adding at least 2 or 3 more. The playoffs are going to end up, as a money maker deal for Major League.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to do the expansion playoffs. They got rid of it. There was
coming back in the CBA.
I don't think so. Nobody liked it. That's why they got rid of it. Everybody hated it. They want to do that.
Major League Baseball makes more money that way, and the inside information is that they will be adding at least 2 more wild card teams per league.
Well, that's not going to help the Yankees' chances of winning a World Series. Matter of fact, it's going to make it even less likely for them to ever win a World Series.
But you got to understand one thing, though. What makes the Yankees is the fans, right? The fans that we pay money to go to the game, right? We pay for this.
Believe that.
But we pay for them to win. If the fans stop going to games, they're not gonna have money to have players. You understand what I'm saying?
I think all the fans next year should I think they should not go to the stadium and they should make them start. They don't deserve to get fans. As a matter of fact, did Hellstein going to take notes? There was no sellouts this year at Yankee Stadium. They only drew, they didn't get no 52,000, 56,000 people at the stands. They only got maybe 32,000 people that showed up this year in attendance for games.
Oh, man, Friday nights were horrible. Those Friday nights that I went to games, that was the worst Fridays I ever seen in the stadium. That was bad. They don't even
get fans anymore. But why do you think they're not getting a lot of fans? Because the team sucks.
They're losing money.
Terrible. They know it now.
They're losing money, and you're right, Mike. Not many people are going to the games anymore like they used to. Because when the Yankees were winning and had a chance to win, people would go to the game just for the hell of it because they know the Yankees are winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
now the Yankees is losing.
It's the same thing every year with them. They're not getting their hopes up anymore, these fans. They know it's going to be the ending result every year in October. They lose every year. We never have high expectations for this team ever again because they always fail in October, and October is destined to failure for them. That's their kryptonite. Everyone knows in October.
There's a couple of reasons. For one thing, the working class doesn't have any money, and the Yankees are expensive. And also, we still do have a pandemic going on. But as far as me and BX Bomber, I'm not going to let having Yankees play affect my enjoyment. That is my major entertainment, going to Yankee Stadium and visiting with BX Bomber and seeing them.
Not winning the World Series for 13 years is going to definitely do something to you. No fans in baseball or any of sports are going to let a team you have a successful franchise like the Yankees, like the Lakers, like the Celtics, and you go 13 years without winning. That's bad. I mean,
Yankees,
this is supposed to be a great team.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be this is not a bad team. This is the New York Yankees. We're not the Cleveland Browns.
Well, the Yankees are turning into the Knicks. The Yankees are turning into the New York Knicks, where the Knicks make the most money in the NBA, and they're the worst team playing. They make the most money.
The Knicks are better than the Yankees. The Knicks are better than the Yankees, and they're more embarrassing than the Knicks are. The Knicks actually have a fun team, and the Knicks actually have a chance. The Yankees don't even make it that interesting.
Now they do, but you know what? They're very similar in comparison, man. They make the most money in the league, and they're becoming the worst team, and that's how they had it.
I would compare them more to the Baltimore Orioles.
Well, they are, but they just have a higher payroll. That's what I'm saying.
Well, take their payroll away, and what are they, a last place team, the Yankees? I think they are.
Yeah, they should have been a last place team the way they're playing this year.
They're only good, and they're only a great team if they have the high payroll.
If you never saw the standings,
they're not good.
If you never looked at the standings the whole year, you would think the Yankees were in last place the way they played. All these losing streaks.
I don't know why people hype this team up every year. When are the Yankees ever going to become irrelevant anyways? nobody will ever talk about them ever again. When they fail to make the playoffs every year, maybe that's when people will not forget that.
Here's the history for you. When I first started rooting for the Yankees, kindergarten was my first game. And then through first and second grade and all of that, that was an era called the Horace Clark era. I don't know if you ever heard of Horace Clark. He just recently passed away. He was an infielder. But he was a star at that point in time. Mickey Mantle had just retired. Buddy Ford had retired. And they were owned by CBS. And they were really down in the dump. And the South Bronx was burning down. And CBS owned them. And that's when I was rooting for the Yankees, when they were really down in the dumps. And the teams that were ahead of them were teams like the Orioles and the Oakland A's. And when George Steinbrenner bought the team in 72 for the 73 season, and he rebuilt them, and they finally came back to relevance in 76 and lost the World Series to the Big Red Machine in 76.
Yeah.
Well, this team is... you could say
what I'm trying to say is I've been with the team when they've been bad, and I've been with the team when they've been very good.
Well, the Yankees have their years of badness, man. The 80s, the early 90s, now it's the 2000s. You know what I mean? The whole decade. So...
Yeah, this is 13 years without winning a World Series. I mean, I don't like hearing about history and about this and that and about
only making it to the wild card. Only making it to the wild card. We only made it to the wild card all these years, except for
they shouldn't even have made the playoffs. Period.
Except for the Houston Astros.
The Red Sox. And the Red Sox don't even have a great team. This is a joke. The Red Sox have nobody. Didn't they lose Chris Sale? Didn't they lose J.D. Martinez? I don't understand this. How are they getting it done?
Yeah, man.
It's ridiculous.
Rafael Devers, man. Rafael Devers.
They were wild card teams in the 80s. They would have been in the playoffs every year. They won the most games in that decade in the 1980s. They just failed to win their division.
Well, they didn't make the playoffs, the Yankees do, because they didn't have the pitching either. They didn't have great pitching in the 80s. They had hitting, but they didn't have the pitching. That's why they failed every year. And they were really good. They was just unfortunate. There was a lot of good teams in their division in the 80s, and that's why they failed. But they also didn't have the pitching also. They had a problem with pitching, the Yankees. They always did. What else is new? But this team, I don't know. This team is actually competitive, and they have talent. So I don't know why they lose every year in the playoffs. It makes no sense.
It's sad, yeah, man. It's true. The way the Yankees are, man, they have enough talent to win a World Series, man, and they don't have it. They just fail.
They don't hit in the playoffs. They never hit in the playoffs.
They never do.
Everyone knows. All teams know what's coming when they make it to the playoffs. They know these guys aren't going to hit. They know it. The Yankees freeze up in the playoffs. They go into a cold spell and
even in 2009, when they went to the World Series, they didn't hit nothing neither, and it took A-Rod to wake up.
I mean, A-Rod got the big hit off of Brad Lidge. I mean, they sort of kind of went into a hitting slump, but it wasn't. I mean, they won the World Series for a reason. This team hasn't hit for 13 years.
It's longer than that. It's from the 2000s. They haven't hit nothing.
Well, yeah.
Since the old stadium, they haven't been hitting nothing.
Well, they never hit runners in scoring position. I've been telling you that since for the last 23 years. They haven't hit on this team when they have Paul O'Neill on the team. They never hit runners in scoring position. The Yankees. Why do you think they don't win that many championships?
Michael, speaking of history, I sent you and the ex-bomber Mickey Mantle's 500th home run on Instagram.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but these guys, I don't know, man.
I'm not impressed. Yeah,
it's
this is a joke of a team.
You got a guy, Garrett Cole, that allegedly he was supposed to be the best pitcher in the whole world, and the guy's a cheater, man.
Yeah, the best pitcher on the planet.
The guy's a cheater, man. He's a cheater. He's a fraud. That's why the Yankees didn't go nowhere, because he was the guy that was supposed to hold it down and give the rest of the team motivation.
I'm so sick of people saying that, we lost because they're hitting. Yeah, but Garrett Cole was the one that he gave up 3 runs in the game.
And not only that, they were looking at Garrett Cole as the leader of the team. And you can't be no leader of no team if you ain't playing. You know, you gotta be playing to be the leader of the team, cause nobody can tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can tell you nothing because you the guy now.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
but
this guy turns out like a.
Come on,
if this guy
man.
turns out to be like this the next 7 years, then this guy turns out this might be a worse contract than Stanton and Ellsbury. This might be this guy turns out to be a bust goal. Then the Yankees just got stuck with a guy that's going to pretty much bring them down for the next 7 years.
He's the black sheep. He's the black sheep of the team, man. For real.
Garrett Cole finished the year with 16 wins, a 3.2 earned run average, and 243 strikeouts.
Yeah, but he was terrible his last 6 starts. You can't go by numbers. He didn't really have that dominant of a season. He didn't win 20 games. I mean, you're paying this guy $36 million a year to only win 16 games.
He should have played better than that. And how many times he got blown out? How many times Garrett Cole got blown out? So,
he's
like
part of the
4
problem,
times.
and the guy had, he wasn't good the last 6 starts. We needed him to step up very big.
He was bad in the last 6 starts.
I mean, come on. I mean, every game that you needed this guy to step up big, and he didn't pitch great. Every single game, they needed him to be like an ace, and he didn't prove it. He's a fraud. He's not a great pitcher. I don't know what people are kicking his ass for.
So Garrett Cole pitched twice this year, and he was terrible in both.
Well, if he pitches bad like that again next year, I don't want to hear anybody about saying this guy's a top 2 pitcher in baseball. He's like a top 20 pitcher.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you one thing.
He's no Jacob DeGrom. Sorry, he's no DeGrom. DeGrom blew him away.
Nah, DeGrom did it naturally without no sticky tack or none of that.
Yeah, DeGrom is better. There's no comparison.
And I'm not a fan of Garrett Cole no more until he proves it to me. Garrett Cole, for me to be a fan of Garrett Cole again, he's going to have to prove to me that he's a pitcher. And if he can't do that, I will never be a fan of him. Never.
No.
He's a fake.
He's a fake. He's Steinbrenner and Cashman. For him to prove to me that they got to win a World Series.
And shame.
And he's got to pitch big games.
And also, shame on the Yankees for knowing that he did, even though they want to deny it and all that. Yeah, we know. Yeah, okay, deny it all you want. But damn right, you knew that he was using that sticky crap, and you know that he can't pitch without it. So why get the guy if he can't pitch without it, man? Why get him? Why? The hell with Garrett Cole. I don't care about the stupid sign. Yo, I don't care about the stupid sign that he was a Yankee fan today. And the hell, listen, he can stick it up his ass. The damn sign. Yeah. It don't mean nothing. Seriously. Real talk.
Exactly.
Real
they
talk.
knew about it because they knew about Chapman too when he had the domestic abuse. So you don't think
of
they knew about Garrett Cole? Of course they knew about it.
Of course.
They knew it.
Yeah, man, and they saved him.
And they thought this guy was going to be good. They thought this guy was going to dominate. You knew he needed the grip on the ball to dominate. And look
Just
at his
like
spin rate.
Domingo
I don't know what
Germán,
people talking about. His spin rate dropped.
Domingo Germán, too. He got in trouble with domestic violence, and they held on to him.
Yeah, the Yankees are crazy. They would keep you if you were a serial killer. They don't care about people's. They just keep everybody.
You could be the son of Sam, and they still got you on the team.
They're a weird organization. I don't get. That's why the Yankees don't believe in change. I told you that. They're the only team that's weird.
Here's my
guys
point.
that are like convicts and felons. What's wrong with the Yankees?
Here's my point.
Well, why do they keep all criminals on their
I want to win like we did in '96, naturally. I don't want to win with cheating and no scandals or none of that, man. We want to win it for real, naturally. Not no crap, man. And these guys are bringing that crap, and we don't want it here.
Yep.
And now the guy can't pitch.
I also can't stand it either how Cashman and Steinbrenner try to pitch the Yankee fans this whole, like, oh, we're just good enough to make it to the playoffs. Like, we have to buy into this whole, like, that's it. Like, you Yankee fans have to be satisfied with the Yankees making the playoffs every year and never winning a World Series. And that should satisfy you guys. No, it hasn't satisfied me because they never win. They're supposed to win a World Series. I don't give a crap that they make the playoffs every single year. And they lose to the Red Sox and the Astros and Tampa. That I'm not shooting low with. That bothers me.
Right, like
and then they can't even make it out of the American League every year. But the Cashman and Steinbrenner are completely satisfied with the Yankees never winning the World Series ever again and then making it to the playoffs and losing every year. To them, that's good enough.
Exactly.
Because they make it every year and they win whatever they win and they lose.
It's true, man. That's all they care about. They care about that one stupid game of the playoffs or whatever. Yeah, they sell their buckets of chicken and French fries.
And even Michael Kay
and they make their money and walk off.
They even said it on the show. If you listen to the radio show, Michael Kay even said maybe the Yankees dynamic has changed. Maybe Cashman's fine, but don't care about the World Series. Maybe they figure, you know what? Whenever they win is whenever they win. Whether it takes 160 years, 70 years, 100 years, whatever. They don't have the drive to win no more. The front office.
Let me give you guys an update. Let me give you guys an update on the White Sox and Astros. As of right now, it is 7-1. Astros. Michael Brantley singled in the 6th inning on a ground ball to center fielder Luis Robert, and Kaz McCormick scored at that
7-1. There's no big update on that. It's a blowout. I mean, you don't need it.
Yeah,
I mean, unless
Houston is going to play the Red Sox, man. That's the way it's going to be, man.
There's no comeback after.
But anyway, let's end the show here, man. It's already been an hour, but
yeah,
we're gonna end the
I'm
show.
just sick of the Yankees. You know how I feel about them. Unless they don't make major changes next year, I'm not watching. I'm not watching the Yankees. And you shouldn't support them either. You should give up. Because they're a joke. Just be like, I guess you're going to just be all right. We'll see them get knocked out of the playoffs every single year. That's not what I'm doing. I want to be a fan of a winning team.
I'll be in show with the X-Bomber next year, so I'll be there.
Yeah, man. Let's see what happens, man. We'll be along for the ride. I guess you can sit
tight to see them take 100 years to win, I guess.
Yeah,
whatever happens, happens.
Oh, you get used to it. Maybe because they might turn into the Cubs, the Yankees.
Oh God, no! I hope not, man. We're gonna have to bring a goat now to the stadium and all that.
Yeah, I'll be prepared. Anyway, we're all alive.
But anyway, let me end the show here, man. I'm gonna go eat some dinner. I'm starving, and I'm gonna go finish this baseball game. Brewers and Braves, man. Top of the second. And,
excellent. Take care, Michael.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And so we ended here. Let me thank everybody for watching. If you lasted this long, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment that you did last this long. I would appreciate it. But until then, I'll see you later.